Nestled deep in the mountains, the small village of Frost Hollow was known for its harsh, snow-laden winters. The village, seemingly untouched by time, was home to just a few dozen people who had grown accustomed to the fierce winters. However, there was one winter that stood out above all, a winter that brought with it a chilling tale whispered through generations. In the winter of 1873, Frost Hollow experienced a snowstorm unlike any other. The snow fell relentlessly for weeks, isolating the village from the rest of the world. As supplies dwindled, so did the villagers' spirits. It was during this brutal storm that the legend of the Frost Wraith began. Eleanor, a young woman known for her adventurous spirit, decided to venture into the forest to gather firewood. Despite warnings from the elders about strange occurrences in the woods during heavy snowfalls, she pressed on. Hours passed and Eleanor did not return, prompting a search party to go after her. As night fell, the search party stumbled upon her footprints, which led deeper into the forest. The tracks ended abruptly in a clearing, where they found Eleanor's scarf tied around a tree branch. There were no signs of a struggle, no blood, just the eerie silence of the forest and the relentless snowfall. Days turned into weeks, and the villagers assumed the worst, that Eleanor had succumbed to the cold. But then, whispers started. People claimed to see a pale figure wandering the forest edge, a ghostly apparition with long, flowing hair and eyes like blue ice. They said it was Eleanor, transformed into the Frost Wraith, cursed to wander the forest for eternity. Those brave enough to venture near the forest spoke of hearing her whispers on the wind, calling for help. The legend said that anyone who heard her voice and followed it into the woods would never return. Over the years, several villagers disappeared, always during the harshest winters, lending credence to the terrifying legend. One winter, a new family moved to Frost Hollow, unaware of the dark tale. The Harper family had come from the city, seeking a simpler life. Their teenage daughter, Lily, fascinated by the stories, decided to investigate. Despite her parents' warnings, she ventured into the forest one evening, determined to uncover the truth about the Frost Wraith. Lily's parents were frantic when she didn't return by nightfall. The villagers, experienced with such disappearances, organized a search party. As they combed through the forest, they found her flashlight, flickering weakly in the snow, and beside it, fresh footprints leading deeper into the woods. Following the tracks, they reached the same clearing where Eleanor had vanished years before. There, in the center of the clearing, stood Lily, staring blankly ahead, her skin pale and her lips blue. She was alive but unresponsive, her eyes wide with terror. The villagers rushed her back to the village, where the local healer tried to warm her and bring her back to consciousness. As she warmed by the fire, Lily finally spoke, her voice trembling. She described seeing a beautiful, ethereal figure in the forest who led her deeper into the woods. The figure, who matched the description of Eleanor, whispered for her to stay, to join her in the eternal snow. Lily's story was enough to convince the remaining skeptics of the Frost Wraith's existence. They realized that the spirit was not malevolent, but lonely, forever seeking companionship, her frozen purgatory. From that winter on, no one dared venture into the forest during heavy snowfalls. The legend of the Frost Wraith became a cautionary tale, a chilling reminder of the power of the winter and the restless spirit that roamed the snowy woods of Frost Hollow. High in the mountains, where the snow never seemed to melt, stood the Grand Snowbound Hotel. Built in the early 1900s, it was a luxurious retreat for the wealthy, who would come to escape the summer heat and enjoy the winter wonderland. However, the hotel had a dark past, one that was buried beneath layers of snow and time. In 1922, a massive snowstorm hit the region, trapping the guests and staff inside the hotel. Days turned into weeks, and the roads remained impassable. The hotel's supplies began to dwindle, and desperation set in. The isolation took its toll on the guests' sanity, and soon, whispers of a malevolent presence started to circulate. One evening, a guest named Jonathan Prescott, a wealthy industrialist, claimed to see a ghostly figure in the hallway, a woman in a white dress, with hollow eyes and a sorrowful expression. He followed her, thinking she was another trapped guest, but she led him to the old, abandoned wing of the hotel. Jonathan's screams echoed through the empty halls, but when others arrived, he was gone without a trace, leaving only a trail of disturbed snow and a chill in the air. The hotel's owner, Mr. Thorne, tried to calm the guests, attributing the disappearance to the severe weather and suggesting Jonathan had simply gotten lost in the storm. However, more sightings followed. Guests and staff reported seeing the woman in white, always just out of reach, leading them towards the abandoned wing. Legend had it that the snowbound hotel was built on the site of a tragic accident. Before the hotel existed, there was a small inn run by a woman named Eliza. One winter, a group of travelers stayed at the inn, but a violent snowstorm trapped them. Supplies ran out, and in a fit of madness, the travelers turned on each other. Eliza, trying to protect her children, was caught in the violence and perished. The inn was abandoned and later demolished to make way for the Grand Hotel, but Eliza's spirit never left. As the storm raged on, the hotel's residents became increasingly paranoid. Mr. Thorne, determined to uncover the truth, ventured into the old wing, where the sightings were most frequent. He discovered a hidden basement, untouched for years, with remnants of the old inn. There, he found a diary belonging to Eliza, detailing the horrific events of that fateful winter. The moment Mr. Thorne touched the diary, the temperature plummeted, and the ghostly figure of Eliza appeared. She didn't speak, but her sorrowful gaze conveyed a message. She sought justice, not for herself, but for her children who had been forgotten. Mr. Thorne realized that the hotel's luxurious facade hid a dark secret, one that could only be appeased by acknowledging the past. Gathering the guests and staff, Mr. Thorne recounted Eliza's story, reading passages from the diary. As he finished, a sense of calm descended over the hotel. The snowstorm outside began to subside, and for the first time in weeks, the sun broke through the clouds. The guests, no longer feeling the oppressive presence, started to prepare for their journey home. The snowbound hotel continued to operate, but it was forever changed. Every year, on the anniversary of the storm, the staff would hold a memorial for Eliza and her children, ensuring their story was never forgotten. The sightings of the woman in white ceased, but her presence was still felt, a guardian of the hotel, ensuring that the past was remembered, and that the snowbound hotel never again became a prison for its guests.